Hey, stop for a second. POMS Cloud is about to show you something you've never seen before. This innovation can speed up your marketing and make your ad campaigns so much easier. Watch till the end. This one's going to be big. Let's go.
So let's just kick things off with a question that sounds kind of crazy, right? How in the world can one brand, for just one single campaign, create over 11 million different unique ads? I mean, just think about the manpower, the designers, logistics of that. It seems impossible.
But here's the thing, that number, it's not a hypothetical. It's not a thought experiment. It's a real-world example of what's possible right now. And the answer isn't some massive army of designers working 24/7. Nope, it's something much, much smarter.
The secret sauce here is a system called Dynamic Creative Optimization, or DCO for short. Really elegant framework that weaves together deep insights into human psychology, cutting-edge technology, and just plain smart economics.
Okay, so here's the game plan for this explainer. We'll start with the problem that DCO was literally built to solve. Then we'll get into the psychology that makes it all tick. We'll take a peek inside what I like to call the creative factory, see how it actually gets used, look at the jaw-dropping results, and then wrap up with what this all means for your strategy.
First up, the modern ad paradox. And it's a real head-scratcher for marketers. We all know personalization works. The more an ad speaks directly to you, the better it performs. But how do you possibly create a unique personal ad for every single person out there when you've got a finite team, a finite budget, and definitely finite time? That right there, that's the paradox of trying to do personalization at scale. So to figure out the solution, we first have to understand the psychology. The real secret to making advertising work at this massive scale isn't just about showing millions of different ads. It's actually about showing millions of ads that are in one very critical way incredibly consistent. This isn't just some fluffy marketing idea. We're talking about real money here. Research shows that if you keep your brand looking and feeling the same across all your ads, all your platforms, you can directly increase revenue by as much as 23%. So consistency, it literally builds value. The reason this works is because of something psychologists call a brand schema. Think of it like a mental file folder that a consumer has for your brand. Every time they see your logo, your colors, your style, they add a little note to that file. If you're consistent, that file becomes strong, clear, and reliable. If you're all over the place, the file's a mess, and that just erodes trust.
And then there's this other cool concept, processing fluency. Basically, our brains are lazy. They're wired to prefer things that are easy to figure out. So when an ad looks familiar, when it's consistent with what we've seen before, our brain doesn't have to work as hard. It likes that ease, and it actually transfers that good feeling over to the brand itself. A familiar ad just feels more trustworthy.
So, what's the big takeaway here? It's simple, really. All those millions of ads, they need to share the same visual DNA. It's that consistency that builds a rock-solid foundation of trust and makes your brand jump right out of a noisy, crowded feed. All right, so that's the why. We get it. Now let's get into the fun part, the how. If psychology is the game plan, then DCO technology is the high-performance engine. It's this automated creative factory that brings the whole strategy to life.
This is so cool because it breaks down this super complex system into 3 simple moving parts. First, you've got your product catalog. That's just a data feed with all your products, images, prices, everything. Second, you have the metapixel, that little piece of code tracking what people are looking at on your website. And third, you have the ad template. This is your master design, the frame that makes sure every single ad looks and feels like it comes from your brand. The system then magically combines these 3 things in real time to build the perfect ad for each person.
Okay, so you've got this incredible engine. Now you can point it in 2 totally different but equally important directions. See, this isn't just for one kind of advertising. It's a super versatile tool for both finding brand new customers and for bringing back the ones who already know you.
And this really shows you the 2 big jobs DCO can do. On one hand, you have prospecting. The system can churn through thousands of different product and message combinations to find out what clicks with totally new audiences. And on the other hand, you have remarketing, which is all about precision. It's about showing someone the exact pair of shoes they were just looking at, reminding them of what they left in their cart.
Okay, we've talked about the psychology, we've talked about the technology, but does it actually work? Let's get to the payoff, the what. What does this thing actually deliver? And honestly, the results from some of these big brands are pretty mind-blowing. Just look at the electronics marketplace Back Market. For a global campaign, their creative production time went from 9 days
down to just 20 minutes. That is a 99% reduction in time. Insane!
But what about the money? Does it actually perform better? Oh yeah. Across a massive 170 billion ad impressions, these dynamic ads pulled in a 76% higher return on ad spend than the old-school static ads.
Adidas, for their ZNE hoodie campaign, they hit a massive 5.3 times return on ad spend. That is just a huge win.
And Decathlon? They made every dollar count, slashing their cost per conversion by a whopping 64%. They made their ad budget hyper-efficient.
This table really paints the full picture. You see Adidas again, Decathlon, but just zero in on that last one for a second, Anton Sport. Using this system, they grew their revenue by 42%, while cutting their marketing budget in half. I mean, come on, that is a true game changer.
Okay, so let's zoom out and put all the pieces together. What does this all mean for you, strategically? We've seen the psychological foundation, the tech engine, the economic results, so how should you be thinking about this? It really all comes down to these three pillars working together perfectly. You have the psychology of consistency, building that brand trust. You have the technology that lets you apply that principle to millions of individuals. And you have the economics of scale, making the whole thing incredibly efficient, saving you time and money while cranking up your returns.
And this is the real punchline. This is why this matters to you. For ages, making ads has been seen as a cost center. It's slow, it's expensive, it's manual. DCO flips that entire idea on its head. It turns your creative process into a fast, automated, and incredibly powerful strategic asset that directly fuels your growth.
If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to follow us on all our channels and share it with someone who might find it useful. Want to learn more about this topic? You can read the full article on our blog. The link is in the bio. See you in the next video.